Hey CJ, have you got any
Hey.
dilemmas at the moment?
Here's my true dilemma right now. I need some shirts. Why are shirts so expensive? It's insane for shirts. I haven't got £50 to throw away on a shirt.
Where are you looking?
Next. I've seen some things, man. My bulging biceps.
There's only so many times you can sew up an elbow.
You end up with a hole in it and you can basically poke your finger through it.
It's showing some age, but hey, so am I.
It's a tough world we live in, man. You've got better pull-out game than Brexit. La 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 la.
The odd t-shirt, pair of socks, some pants, by which I mean underwear, you crazy Yanks.
Dress for the job you want is what they say. Although I'm pretty sure dressing as Batman will be frowned upon.
Welcome to the Tuesday Show with CJ and Ted.
So here is
Hey
my
CJ,
dilemma.
have you got any
Hey.
dilemmas at the moment?
So here's my true dilemma right now. So I also need to save money so I can move house, so I can have an actual proper office space.
Yeah.
And / gaming room, podcast recording space.
Yeah.
But I need to buy new shirts. I
New
need
what?
some shirts. I need some shirts for work. You know, shirts.
Oh, right, okay.
Button down shirts.
Okay.
Because the ones I've got, they're okay, but they are starting to show their age quite a bit. So when I'm going out to offices to do visits or whatever, and I'm putting on a shirt, it's a real problem trying to figure out which one to wear because they're all starting to get a bit old. So I was looking online the other day at some potential replacements, and they're so expensive. Why are shirts so expensive? It's like, I just want like four, you know, a white, a blue, a pink, and then maybe like some kind of checkered pattern one, you know. I'm looking at spending like upwards of £125 for it. It's insane. Just for shirts. But I don't want to buy cheap, nasty rubbish. You know.
Yeah.
I have taste and quality. You know.
Yeah,
I appreciate quality. I used to have a really nice white shirt many years ago that I bought from Next. And it was quite thick, so it wasn't like a cheap white shirt that you could just see straight through, so you'd have to put on a t-shirt underneath it. It was actually a really good quality white shirt, but I can't find anything like that anymore.
Yeah.
It all just seems to be naff, unless you're willing to spend. And I was looking like earlier on actually, and they're like, you know, for a decent quality white shirt, you're looking at £50.
Yeah.
I haven't got £50 to throw away on a shirt.
Where are you looking?
Next. To be fair, what I actually did was Google quality shirts for men. And I found a website actually called, well, it's not on here, it's on my iPad.
QualityShirtsForMen.com.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, let me just quickly do it. Quality shirts for men. Because it's one that it keeps popping up on my Facebook as well as an ad.
Yeah. I'm sure you get lots of shirt ads now.
Charles Turwitt. Well, no, it was the thing that kind of prompted me to think about shirts. I hadn't discussed it or even thought about shirts up to that point.
Yeah.
I saw this ad for charlesturwitt.com, and they seem to do some good quality shirts.
Yeah.
Starting at like, you know, £30 each. And I'm like, yeah, but it's 30 quid each.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't know if I can justify it.
Yeah.
Although I should, because I need new shirts. You know, mine are all looking very tired, and it's that thing where the collar starts kind of, you know, getting a bit crinkly. It's the collar that always shows the age first, I think. Collar and the cuffs.
Yeah.
The cuffs always start showing their age.
Yeah. See, the thing, I'm sort of a bit old school. I mean, I just throw a shirt out that I've not worn for quite a while, but literally, I would let my shirts get to the point where the you know, it's not crinkly, it's frayed. You know, and the back is so badly frayed that actually it's open. You can get your finger in. Yeah. Same with the cuffs. And also a thing that, I mean, bearing in mind, I threw away a shirt that I have probably had for about, I'm going to say about 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what tends to happen is the first thing you get is lawyer's elbow.
Oh, yeah, where you end up looking through the elbow.
Yeah. And then you sort of repair it. But there's only so many times you can sew up an elbow.
Yes.
and then it just sort of falls apart. Cuffs, same. So cuffs would always go. I mean, I never wear a watch, but I can imagine, if you ever wear a watch, particularly with a bracelet strap, that's something that'll wear cuffs away. But if you've got proper cuffs, you'll wear those away. But generally speaking, I think as long as it's clean, it's not stained, and it's ironed properly, then you can kind of get away with a shirt for quite a while.
I mean, if it was my old favourite white shirt that I bought from Next many years ago, I mean, that was £25 at the time, I think.
Yeah.
That one had double cuffs on it. I like double cuffs. I think they look very smart. I just think they're completely inappropriate for the workplace nowadays. Especially when you're on computers, because you end up leaning on your wrists and it just wears the cuffs out.
Yeah.
Or you end up digging yourself in the wrist with cufflinks or whatever. But because I do wear a watch, and I have done for many years, I can't think of a time where I haven't worn a watch. It would end up rubbing against the edge of the cuff and just completely wearing it out. And again, you end up with a hole in it, and you can basically poke your finger through it.
Yeah.
I just think they're just not really appropriate for work anymore.
Yeah.
Like I say, they look super smart, and I'd love to get another double cuff shirt. The only one I've got is my, like dinner jacket shirt, my dinner shirt.
Yeah.
My Marcella shirt, that's what it is, my old Marcella shirt. I've still got that. The only thing I have has got double cuff on it now. But I don't wear a watch with that.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Yeah, I like, I don't wear shirts as often as I used to, but I mean, I've got a fair few, but they're all of varying ages and states of disrepair.
Well, this is it. I mean, some of them, I threw out a load of shirts the other day, probably about a month ago now. Because I took them all out the wardrobe, because they were all just kind of stuffed in a suitcase from when I moved house. And again, my last job, it was all polo shirts. Working from home, I don't have to wear a shirt. I just wear polo shirts.
Yeah.
So when I actually needed to find shirts to wear for work, I went through all my shirts, and a lot of them either A, don't fit, or B, are very old and just look completely worn out. And I'll be honest, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy that wears worn out shirts. I'd rather have some nice quality ones. I'd rather have a small number of quality shirts than a large number of cheap shirts.
Well, this is my theory with the frayed ones. It was that it's a quality shirt. It's showing some age, but hey, so am I. I see like the fraying cuffs and collar as being a bit like slightly greying hair.
Experience.
Yes. This is a shirt of the man of experience.
If that shirt could talk, it would be like, I've seen some things, man.
Yeah.
I've seen some things.
It's a clear, this is not my first day shirt,
Yeah.
I prefer double cuffs. And in terms of cufflinks, I tend to go for the silk knots anyway.
So you have the knotted ones anyway, don't you?
Yeah. They're a lot more functional. But also, I'm not a fan of short sleeve shirts.
No.
I would always have a long sleeve, because you know what you can do with a long sleeve?
Roll the sleeves up.
Roll the sleeves up. Absolutely.
Yep.
You knew that was coming.
Yeah. I don't like, but it sounds a bit controversial, because again, thinking back to our time in the organisation, we wore short sleeve shirts all the time, but they were part of a uniform.
Yeah.
And were kind of the exception to the rule, and actually looked very smart as part of a uniform. Short sleeve shirts in general, I don't like, and I don't like wearing them. I'm a long sleeve shirt person, even with or without a tie. I'm a long sleeve shirt person. But it's nowadays, it's actually on the kind of rare occasion that I actually roll them up. Because I then tend to find that, because they either the shirts just aren't quite the right size. I tend to find that I get restricted movement in my arms, or they just feel a bit too tight around my bulging biceps. Ugh.
Yep.
So yeah, I tend not to roll my sleeves up, but I prefer long sleeves. And I think nothing looks better, especially even in a smart casual situation, of jeans and a shirt and a tweed jacket, but having long sleeve shirts. I'm in the market for a tweed jacket now as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm growing up. I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a tweed jacket. I haven't found one in my size yet that has the old leather elbow pads yet, but I'm looking. But I saw a really nice one the other day. It's a dark green, like a forest green color. It actually looks really nice.
Yeah.
And I think that'll look quite good with the old blue jeans and a white shirt. Or maybe even a checked blue shirt, maybe a green tweed jacket. So yeah.
See, your elbow patches. That's something to have retrofitted after you've had it for 20 years or so, and you've actually got fraying elbows.
Yeah, I was going to say I know it's more of a style thing now, rather than functional, because in general people don't wear like a jacket sat at a desk or whatever. It's nowadays it is style, and I think that's why you can buy them kind of pre-fitted with leather elbow pads. But yeah, I would like one, and I've seen a couple that I like. I just, you're talking £100 each though. It's a lot of money to spend. I'm like, but I'm trying to clear credit cards. I'm trying to save money so I can move house.
Yeah,
it's a tough world we live in, man.
Oh,
it's 100% third world problems.
Yeah.
But just like. I just can't get over how expensive shirts are. Like I say, I was looking at Next. I was looking at this Charles, whatever site this is, Charles Turwit.
Yeah.
So there's an H in there as well, Turfwit. Shirts are just really expensive. If you want quality, they're really expensive. But I think I need to bite the bullet and at least get two.
Yeah.
That I can kind of rotate.
Sorry, I've just pulled out. Yeah.
You've got a better pull-out game than Brexit.
I was about to say, I just suddenly exclaimed, sorry, I pulled out. It's like, literally never said that before.
Yeah, I'm just kind of, perusing this site at the moment. It's actually, 4 shirts for £139. Like, what?
Yeah. I mean, there are various options. There's another one, Halls and Curtis.
Halls and...
Yeah, HAW.
Curtis.
Yes.
Oh, Halls. Oh, there we go, yeah. Halls
Yeah.
and Curtis. Halls and Curtis. And unfortunately,
not
because
suggesting you buy shirts from a brothel or anything.
Oh, actually, I thought you said halls, as in like deck the halls.
Oh, halls. Deck the halls with holly. Yeah.
Yeah, deck the halls with expensive shirts.
Mm.
What was I going to say? Yeah, I realised part of the problem is because, I am grossly overweight. And, finding shirts in my size is a challenge on its own.
Yeah.
It's not like I can go to the local supermarket and just pick up some cheap shirts from there anymore, even though I used to be able to. And actually, there's a good point. There's the segue. Supermarket clothing departments have become really, really bad.
Right.
Like, or maybe it's just because of where I am. Yeah. So, like when I lived in Northampton, my local Tesco had a really good clothing section for men in the supermarket. They had shirts, trousers, cheap suits if you wanted to buy a cheap suit. But a really good selection of clothing for men and women and children. My local Tesco now does not. You're literally limited to, some pajamas, slippers, a couple of belts, and a couple of pairs of smart trousers, and that's it. They don't even do smart shoes anymore. They always used to. They just don't seem to do that anymore. So I went to the other Tesco near where I am, which is much bigger, and they're exactly the same. Stopped in at Asda in Milton Keynes the other day on the way back from somewhere. Exactly the same. Massive Asda in Milton Keynes as well. Exactly the same. No, next to nothing in menswear. And I'm like, is this just a thing now? Is this because online has kind of taken over? Because I always used to be able to go into Asda or Sainsbury's and find clothing in my size.
Yeah.
Now it's just a really poor show in smart clothing. Like you say, you're literally limited to, tracky bees, hoodies, and trainers, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I can't think of anything much more that I would need, apart from the odd t-shirt, pair of socks, some pants. By which I mean underwear, you crazy Yanks. But I wouldn't need anything more than that. I wouldn't think to go to a supermarket for those. For anything more than that. But also with the supermarkets, yeah. But I think they're more the more likely to be targeting, as you say, women's wear and children's stuff, particularly children's stuff, because obviously they grow out of it. So you don't want to spend an absolute fortune on stuff because it will soon be out of use. But definitely, there's always more selection for women. There are even branches. Certainly there used to be branches of Marks and Spencers where you couldn't even find menswear because why would you possibly need that?
I get that because there's a lot, like you say, women's fashion tends to be more full and varied and varied and varied than men's. But like I say, I mean, that was always the case in the Tesco's in Northampton. The women's section was always much bigger than the men's, but there was always a section in the men's that, they'd have one of these big racks and it was just full of shirts, all the different designs in all the different sizes they did. Just doesn't seem to exist anymore. And there were some quite good quality shirts that I used to get out of there, actually, some really nice looking ones. It just doesn't seem to exist anymore, which I just seem to find as a bit of a shame. But like I say, I don't know whether that's because of competition from the online world, or more just special or actual clothing stores now having competing pricing. I don't really know what it is, but the thing is, they probably don't need to carry that much in terms of stock, because you can go and look at it and think, well, that's a nice shirt. I wish it was in my size, and then go online and 2 days later it's on your doorstep anyway. So I kind of get that, but I don't. Men don't generally buy clothes as much as women do anyway. No. I certainly don't. I mean, I've just, like I say, it was only the other day I threw away a shirt that I've had for 25 years. You talk about what did you say? Tweed jackets. Well, my tweed jacket, I've had for at least 20 years. Yeah, see, I hope that I can buy a quality tweed jacket and it will last me for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then some.
Yeah, absolutely.
I realise that it is winter wear. It's not really a summer item. It'll probably be a bit warm to wear it now. He says, sat here wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, you get a good weight. You can wear it pretty much all the way through the year.
Well, that's it. If you want, even if it's just, like you say, a bit chilly outside, you can just throw on your tweed jacket and away you go.
But then that's the same. That's the same as suits. Right? Again, it's about quality. So if you get a quality suit, like if you get a suit that's pretty much mostly polyester, then that's the last thing you want to be wearing during the. A, you don't want to wear it during the winter because you'll freeze, and B, you don't want to wear it during the summer because you'll be sweating.
That's like you'll boil.
Yeah. So what you want is 100% new wool.
Yeah.
A decent suit will last you a long time. Also, the other thing is making sure that you're buying a suit from somewhere where you can buy 2 pairs of trousers, because the trousers will go before the jacket.
So I have recently purchased 3 new suits. Black, blue, and grey.
Yep.
All 3 are 3-piece suits, and all 3 have a second pair of trousers. It's cost me a fortune. But worth it is the way I look at it, though. It's because, like you say, they're good quality. I hope they're good quality.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll last me a long time. Even as if my plan to lose weight does come to fruition, I can get them all taken in. I can take them to the tailors and get them tailored, which isn't a problem, and that will still be less than buying new suits again.
Yeah.
And the same will apply to shirts as well. I'd like to buy some shirts that are going to last a long time. I can have them tailored as and when weight loss happens. It might be a bit more difficult around the collar. I don't really know how collars are constructed. But yeah, that's kind of the plan. It's just like I say. Maybe it's because I have just unloaded, £300-400 on suits. And now I'm like, I've got to unload more money now on shirts. Not entirely sure I'm willing to do that yet. And like I say, I want a tweed jacket at some point. That's kind of low on the priority list, though. Like I say, it's a bit too warm for a tweed jacket right now. But certainly when it comes to, October, I might do maybe October payday. I might treat myself to a tweed jacket. But men's fashion, there you go. It's an expensive business.
Yeah.
All fashion's an expensive business.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's just, I found it weird because I used to be able to, when I was younger and, much more poor, I could just go to my local supermarket and buy clothes.
Yeah.
And it worked perfectly. It was fine but then again, like I say, I was doing jobs that didn't need me to wear expensive. I mean, I don't need to wear expensive suits now. I mean, hell, I can go to the office if I want in jeans and a shirt. I can go in smart casual if I want to. But I still like to have nice looking shirts. That's the thing.
Well, the thing is, if people don't tend to wear suits so much for work, so if you do have a suit, you may as well have a decent suit. And a decent suit can last you a very long time. Certainly, I've got some that have lasted me a long time.
Like I say, I've got 3 of them. I've got 3 of them, so hopefully that'll, putting them on rotation will extend their lifespan.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're 3 pieces as well, so when it comes to winter, I can put a waistcoat on and, there's an extra layer, which I'm quite looking forward to. I've never found a situation, though, that requires a waistcoat so far, apart from, like, formal dining, formal dinners or anything like that. But no, I'm quite looking forward to, rocking up at an office or an event for my current role and wearing a waistcoat.
Yeah.
So, dress for the job you want is what they say, not the job that you have.
Absolutely.
Although I'm pretty sure dressing as Batman will be frowned upon.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was The Tuesday Show.
Get in touch with us. All the links are in the description. And until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.